Hey everybody, Dr. Laura Dabney here with you, giving you actionable items on how to improve your most important relationships, those with your spouse, your children, and yourself, because really the best gift you can give your relationship is a healthy you. So we are back here talking about the COVID casualty of relationship casualties. In addition to all the terrible casualties we've had, I've been hearing a lot about relationships that have fallen apart due to COVID issues. Mostly fights and discourse over the COVID stuff we have to do, wearing face masks, being outside, not congregating, not traveling, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. People have different ideas of how to do these things and how to live their lives, and that can be very upsetting to some people. So last video we talked about if you're very upset about somebody doing that, how to approach it. Now I want to talk to you about if someone's very upset with what you're doing and how you can approach that. So for starters, like started for the last time, use a little empathy. Try not to immediately jump to anger or getting angry back or saying angry words back. That's never helpful. And if you can stop yourself for a split second and realize it may not be, it may look like anger, but it may be coming from some other emotion like fear, stress, burnout. All these other things can come across as anger, but it might not be. Don't get with that anger, don't get caught up in the whole what's right and wrong, because sometimes that anger comes at you and you feel like you have to be defensive and prove something. Well, there's nothing to prove, and that's just going to get you in a vicious circle that goes nowhere and really hurt your relationship. So avoid all that for starters. And then secondly, set clear boundaries, but use your empathy with that. Say clear boundaries here, I mean something along the lines of you can use distraction, for instance, something along this type of talk where this topic is upsetting both of us. So I really would rather hear about your new job or your golf game. How's that going? Something that you can move on to a more neutral discussion. You can also consider intellectualizing. You may want to ask them a little bit more about, well, gee, I see this is upsetting to you. What's going on? Where do you see this going? What is it that you're most concerned about in all this? When do you think this is going to end? That may be a way for them to get them to vent these feelings without coming after you for what you do. So it's a sort of a form of distraction by using their intellectual skills to get off the subject altogether. And lastly, don't overstimulate them. If your face mask wearing habits, well, that's a mouthful, is upsetting to them, then don't go to places, don't do things where you need a face mask. Do things more by phone or Zoom. If your travel plans set them off, then don't talk about your travel plans. Think about what it was that overstimulated them and react accordingly. If someone told you that a topic was painful, you'd stay away from it. Well, they're showing you this topic is painful to them. So it's best to stay away from that. This pandemic will end one day soon, and we want your relationships to still be intact. So take a look at the last video if you haven't seen it to see what to do when you're feeling very upset about people's COVID habits, and hopefully this video is helpful on what to do if someone comes after you about your COVID habits. Of course, if you need any help with that, we are here, 757-340-8800. Stay safe, everybody.